Hello, Wild Wisdom Warriors, and hello, YouTube. This is Lily Kolosova. So I'm back with my journal. Thank you for being here, everybody. Okay, so here's Caesar Zeus. Today he's here. He wanted to be in my lab, so he's just going to say hi to everybody because Mama's going to be talking about some quantum foundations and what that means. So since we are in quantum age, so Zeus, you're our modern scientist, okay? We are in quantum age, right? Caesar, right. All right. All right, anyway, so he's going to be right here sleeping in my lap very comfortably. And I'm going to be talking, you guys. Hi, Tom. It's good to have you back. Thank you for joining me. So, well, I am doing this live because I just did a little show. Well, we were going to do a show, Russian Tea Room show with Dar. And she is a spiritual coach. She's in Wild Wisdom Warriors group. And she's opening a clinic, Vibrant Earth. So we were going to have a show recorded, but my Zoom went all... well, actually, I wanted to talk a little bit about my computer had a ghost for a while. And so I think it's the ghost is being naughty. My ghost in here is being naughty and doesn't want me. Hi, Sunflower. And doesn't want me to do the shows. So my computer ghost, I'm talking about my computer ghost acting up. Yeah. So anyway, what I wanted to do, so what we talked about, so we did record the Skype conversation anyway, and this is going to be a pre-show conversation that I'm going to go ahead and put it online, probably on YouTube and Facebook. And that's just for for all of you, our shaman sisters and brothers. And we're going to be talking about this shamanic wellness and the foundation for our reality right now. We got to get this going. Okay, Caesar, what's up? Okay. All right. But you want to get down? No? Okay. He wants to be in here. Okay. All right. You're here. Fine. All right. So anyway, we had a great pre-show conversation, what I will release, because we talk a lot about the foundation for our reality. And for us, as we gaining clarity, and I'm doing this journal to journal myself and with you guys through this clarity stage that we're all going through. Thank you, Curious. That's my cuteness here. And that's his space. All right. So what we want to do is we're going to start at the foundation, okay? Because like for any house, you got to build a solid foundation. And so Dar and I are talking about and been working separately, but yet on a very similar and work that has to do a lot with developing courses, developing educational material, and showing the world how to build a foundation that is that is in alignment with human best and highest potential. So this is why I keep talking about in this last 4 to 5 years is I've talked about people that need to step into their power, their own power as creator beings. So then when the time comes for collective human consciousness to step into healing path, as the magicians, because those that can self-heal are then the magicians, because the self-healing, as I talked about in my last video, is then the highest form of magic. And so who can create reality or build reality or manifest reality? Because the real magicians out there, it's all about manifestations, right? So we are getting into the stage. Hi, Mary. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yeah, I'm back. Me too. I'm so glad to be back too. I finally cleaned out enough of my reality to be able to see clearly that this is my passion. So I'll be here talking in the future. I'm not going anywhere. All right. So anyway, so what I want to talk about, and basically what my coming back is Mary's all about, is I'm going to be doing more shows, and I was attempting to record Russian Hebrew show today for and talk about shamanic wellness and where we need to start and how we root ourselves in this spiritual wellness first, so then we are rooted in, and then we can comfortably then, once you root yourself, because this is what happened. I've talked about us in the past being the seeds, universal seeds, right? And so I've talked about this. And so look at this stage that I call it a clarity stage right now, as the stage that is the beginning of the growth, as though we as human collective consciousness now together, because each and every one of you individually had to do this for yourself, right? You had to root yourself in that universal living field, or as I refer to as that quantum field, which doesn't have polarity. It is that what is beyond. It is that what it goes beyond polarity, beyond light, beyond darkness. It's all that it is. It's all the possibilities, right? It's the God within. That's the quantum field. At the same time, it is also our Akashic record, is the quantum field that we hold individually. And that's why people talk of human beings, the ones that do carry the living soul here. They talk of them as masters or creators, or, there's so many different names for this type of souls. But what happens is the self-recognition that you're a God in human form. That happens to certain individuals that are here. And there's also a lot of humanity in this cycle that is going to go through this self-realization, okay? So each and every one of you that went through this awakening, because what is truly to be awake? It is truly to be awake is to be able to clearly see what's going on the collective level with human consciousness. This is the gnosis that Gnostics talk about. Off. And so us, and I call myself as, hi Dusty Blue. Yes, rooted in the moment, in the present moment, to the universal essence, because the universal essence is essence of us. That's the essence. And some people call that in the past unconditional love and all of that, that the essence of us. It's that what it is. It's the capability, that quantum capability. And this is what the New Age is all about, you guys, because we already made the quantum leap. If we didn't, here's another occult secret. If we haven't made a quantum leap in this reality, we would not have quantum mechanics knowledge available to us here. It would not be present. So this reality is real. So, yes, rooted. And so that's the essence for you, as your essence as within, so without. So if you are of that higher frequency, because this is one of the things that we will be talking about with Dar in the future couple of shows that we're going to do on Russian Tea Room, but that's going to be related to a mystery school and a course that Dar is developing for how to establish or to root yourself in that spiritual self, in that shaman self, so you build that foundation for your reality. Because it's just like in the Bible, there's truth, and it talks of a house being built on the sand and then the house being built on the rock, and the difference when the storm comes through, because the storm was always going to come through no matter what. That's just, it is what it is. It already happened. So in this reality, why are we still here? Because yes, in 2012, we disconnected from many timelines that did not have a quanta generated reality. What is quanta? In my very original graph, which was pretty encoded, you guys. Right, see Ankovich, dolphins. Yes, the son of creation, right. Because creation is frequency, it's vibration. Yes, the dolphins have been doing the higher frequency. That's why we're so connected to dolphins, because they do carry our human consciousness, except it is of the heavenly realms. So that's why we connect to dolphins so much. And when I first time when I saw a dolphin, and it was a mama and maybe a daddy and a baby, a family just came to a boat on a diving trip, and they just came and started circling a boat. I was still wearing my gear, but my I didn't have my my fins on, and I jumped in without even thinking that I can just drown with all my heavy gear. But I did float it. I still had my thing on, diving thing. Oh my god, I can't even find right words. Hi, Natasha. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Diane. Hi, darling. How's California? All right. So anyway, so what we need to do is to go back to the basics. So now we have made the leap. All right. It's just that it is not in our conscious awareness. Yet there's people that carry that consciousness in their conscious awareness. So what does it mean? Just like 100th monkey effect, this is all going to happen to all of this creation. So once we do this on the personal level and we clean up all of that doesn't hold the living quanta within, that it is the dead light or inverted frequency that's manifested. Okay, this is the reason why the black goo nanotechnology that does not belong in this reality is here in manifested form. So keep that in mind, why some of the things are manifested, okay? But you can space dust them. And this is the process of space dusting within yourself. And it's that inverted reality. That's that binary Merkaba field, the light body that many people in a harvesting quanta path, because what it does is actually harvests the quanta or the life force. Okay, this is why it's quantum intelligence, because it's quanta. go look at Wikipedia what quanta is, okay? It's a scientific, but it is. Spirituality and science connects, right? Oh, feels like home, California. Great, Diane. I want to be in California. I miss palm trees. Oh, I miss palm trees. Mwah. Love California. All right. Well, anyway, so I want to talk about that quanta, and this is what that field, that living field that I talked about in the past. Oh, I'm just gonna come in to visit, Diane. I might set up a camp there. Oh, thank you. I love San Diego. Oh my God, love it, love it, love it. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Bye, Jimmy. My son just went to work. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Oh, I am really, really drawn to go there. I miss, like I said, I miss palm trees, but I think there's still a few things that I gotta get done here in Colorado, and I'm looking forward to a few projects here. I will be filming a few projects here in the next couple of weeks. So very excited. Well, what I'm drinking today, it's just sparkling water with some strawberries. Fresh strawberry. Oh my God, I almost spilled it in my computer. Ghost in the computer. Thank you, ladies, for watching. So anyway, back to the topic. Do you guys have any questions like about foundation and how to start? So I figured that I was kind of all over. I was too excited about start like talking about this in my journal. This is going to be kind of scientific, I guess, but I'm going to turn it all into metaphor from nature. Okay. And so like what I was saying, that like we were seeds, and even in my graph, I was showing that seed, the stages of the correction timeline, and how I illustrated the stages of correction timeline is I showed a little plant, like a biology thing, and I showed it in the ground, in the soil, breaking out of its seed. And the first stage is just breaking out. Then next stage is rooting, and then the next stage is going up, and then going fully on. And so those are the stages that we're going to go through this in this correction that we are creating collectively as creator being together. I don't like that collective because it's so high mind shit. 26 letters is not enough to express frequency. That's why when I talk, there's so much in between, right? Crystals, I think it might be, I have no idea. I think it's Swarovski, actually, Natasha. It's Swarovski, but I do have my little nearby, my this stuff, and then this is my birth stone. So that's that. So I always have it nearby. Pendulum. I can't wear pendulums, but I keep it nearby. So the thing, and then when I need to use it, I do use it. Yeah, I do use it. I use all kinds of stuff still. I use tarot cards. Here's my tarot cards. And then I use the spirit tarot cards. These are the ones that have 23 cards. That's the deck that very few people use in this world. And then I have my typical, but I only use this as typical Russian typical cards. And I have the Russian gypsy cards too, that I still use. And then the pendulum thing, I practice to control it, Natasha. The pendulum, especially your birth stone, when you do the pendulum, then you can control it, or try to practice to control it with your mind. That's a really good practice to do, like a detachment. If there's anything that bothers you, practice to like holding it up and then swinging it right or left with your mind. And that just kind of gives you that little bit of it anchors you in your, you can do that with your breath too. You can anchor yourself immediately and like root yourself in your own higher being, because that's who you are inside. And so all these external things we do is just so we can align our own self to that, which is, and this is what I say, like Roald Boom calls that quantum resting, because that's what it is. You go into your own quantum field, your own personal quantum field, which is also Akashic record. Okay. So when you go in there and then you focus this mind on something like a pendulum to swing it either right or left, what you're doing is this two sides of the brain, right and left, you're rebalancing. So then your stem, your reptilian stem, all right, has the ability to have that life force, the universal flow from your universal mind, which is in your gut. That's the universal mind in a physical body. That's your gut. That's the universal mind. And so here in physical, and then in our physical body, we have our mind here. So what happens is your universal mind can connects to your mind through your stem, and that's the snake in the Egyptian thank you, Natasha, because that's the thing. I can talk now about a lot of things, but I don't know where to start. That's why my first couple of these journals were like all over the place. And thank you so much for those questions, because it's kind of interesting. That the thing is, and so what happens is you need to kind of take these two brains, because what happens is it's a reason, logic, and then you got to balance it with your, the paradox that I talked about. This is what happens. Since you got to balance it, that you create the opposite and the negative. And so the most if you can recognize the negative and darkness, then you're that much positive and overcome both. So your brain then, because this is what awakening, and then this is what Thomas, pineal, and there is another gland in the head that creates that flow, that gives you that higher point right here. And that this is why binary can do it. That's why they can interrupt you, and then they invert that frequency. Okay. And so at the same time, it blocks you. So you gotta activate this brain here to do something that's balancing your chi. And this is the fastest way to get into meditative state. And that's why Roald and I talk about how meditation teachings until now, most meditation teachings are actually don't do you any good. Pituitary gland, yes. Pituitary, pineal, and Thomas? No. There was another one. Tom, I don't remember. I see, it just skips my head. So anyway, but what happens is when you do that, and so this is what we got to focus. This is what basics of quantum resting then is what you can do. You can help, you can ask for, for things like that, for the stones to actually to do this, but you understand it's your conscious mind. So you're basically programming your conscious mind to what is subconsciously is being programmed to. So you're just setting your intention. So your quantum field is intending to reprogram all through your subconscious into your conscious. So you're basically bypassing subconscious deprogramming by skipping it. You're stepping above it. And you're just reprogramming yourself through your conscious mind, and you just breaking through the subconscious programming by aligning yourself so it's not putting your mind or trying to escape negative thinking patterns. It's escaping the patterns that are only run here and have the ability to root yourself in your universal brain, which is your gut. There is a new organ, I don't know what it's called, but it's right underneath the gut. There's another organ that has a lot of neurons, more than this brain. Okay? So this is why when we're stressed, we feel like there's a poison going into our stomach. Because that's what it is. Stress creates that poison, or it creates that whatever, it's inverted frequency of your heart. And so it just, because it's out of fear, right? Fear of this or fear of that. Praying helps, right? Negative thoughts. But what I'm saying is that negative and positive still, to allow the universal chi energy to flow without, look at your mind and your subconscious programming as a screen, as a filter that your organic quantum field is expressing. So you have a filter, and through subconscious mind, that filter gets programmed, okay? But it gets programmed by external, through your conscious mind. So it has access only from outside. But what I'm talking about, and why I'm saying we need to root ourselves first in that real reality that is ours, meaning accepting as your reality as yours, and doing and cleaning your own house, and then rooting and experiencing everything in your life. Hi, David. Oh, thank you. You found me through Arctellus. Yes, I know. Arg and I, we should talk. We should be talking soon with him, David. I think we need, and this is what I'm attempting to do, David, is to kind of get together. And this is why I'm starting to do this shows and things like that. I want to organize some conversations with a lot more people. So David, please stay in touch. And I think we're gonna work this out. We just need to right now kind of take a deep breath, maybe. Kind of shake off and walk it off and laugh it off, some of this craziness we just gone through. I think we need to kind of laugh it off, and we do need to talk it off. And that's why I've been feeling like maybe it will be a good time to bring a few people on, to just kind of reestablish, how to move forward. Does that make sense, David? Does that answer your question, I guess? So I'm working on reestablishing kind of that foundation. And this is what, because everything, like I said, I do, I understand the part that I have to play in this healing of collective human consciousness. I've accepted that, what my experience and in this reality for over 49 years now have offered me. And so I've accepted fully. And so I'm also accepting a full responsibility. So if I'm granted this intelligence, and so then I'm going to act on it. So Thank you, David. So I'm going to act on it. So at least, if anything, if nobody comes to talk to me to my shows, then I'll be doing this. And I'll be talking about everything and anything. I don't need anything. I don't need anybody. I don't count on anybody else. But for our collective human consciousness, for us to be successful in creating this correction timeline, yes. And as you will know, in my next show with Dar, we will be talking about creating the foundation for the teachers out there that don't know that they are teachers. Because once you do self-realize, you are the teacher to others. And I don't like to use that word, but that's the word people most relate to. So I'm going to leave it at that. But you understand what I mean. But you teach by example. And that's how we teach in reality. There is no fake it until you make it teachings in this reality. There is no, those who cannot do teach. That is not a reality. We've tried that. How did that work out for our educational system? Not so well. And so, yes, I will be doing a lot of shows and things like that. I'm working on a media company, and so all of that's going to be launching. We are just starting. So thank you, David, for finding me, and thank you so much for caring. As a lot of people, I will tell you that a lot of people used and abused Og's knowledge. They've used and abused them, and you know who I'm talking to. I know every one of you. So, David, I'm well aware of what's going on in that situation. None of it is going to work. They cannot have what they want because there's no piggybacking on anything. Stupid. They're so stupid. They wanted to piggyback on the frequency. Retards. Retards. But I will get to them. All right, you guys. So anyway, this is stupidness. Yes, stupidness. Every one of them. They think they can piggyback if they can trick enough people. Your trickery only works to the point. Then you're just stupid. And that's what it is. That's what's going on in this, but it's understandable, you guys. Yes. It's gotta be clean. There is nothing unclean that will enter or can enter. It's ridiculous how stupid these people are. We do have dirty luggage, and we have to clean our own house. We have to clean our own house. And if you're that big and you consider yourself to be a master of reality, a creator of your reality, how big is your reality? How accountable are you going to be? So imagine for all of those people that've done the deep state work, that done the agenda of what they wanted, and I said this from the beginning. The invaders of this reality were going to wear a different mask, a mask of savior, and come to people and harvest the souls. I've talked of this in 2014. What's harvesting of soul? It's a replacement, an entity replacement. It's a demon possession. That's what it is. And so that ascension, most ascension teachings are actually demon possession protocol. So all of these people like Laura Eisenhower, like all of these people that teach ascension, right? what they're teaching. This is a protocol for you, for a human being to consciously go through this, vacating your body and be possessed by demons and giving your body fully to demons so they can experience a living reality. Can piggyback into living reality? You just can't. I'll tell you why. Because those of you guys that done the work, you started you've started this cleaning process hopefully a while back, and you are now at the building the quantum foundation for your reality. Okay, but before you can do that, before you can build that quantum foundation, what you got to do is you got to go through the process. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to use this, my son's book from his school, from college. Foundation of parasites. All right? So before you can clean yourself of parasites, which is physical parasites, emotional parasites. Yes, there is emotional parasites. And then there is also spiritual parasites. And this is what everybody knows is demons, spirits, whatever, discarnate spirits and all of that stuff. They're discarnate because they're not living. They don't have a quantum field. They only have a biological field. Okay? So that's why they're biorobots, as Og calls them. Okay? And that's why their daddy that created them is gonna uncreate them. Flat Earth Society is actually a cover-up for a pedo club. So yeah, all of those ARS. I don't know, the Flat Earth Society. The dates. If they're working on dates, they're not operating on quantum field. Quantum field never will give you dates. There's no dates in quantum in Akashic records. That's why that. Well, it could be. I see, because it's solstice. I see. Okay. I see that because of solstice. I agree with you. Solstice is a very important point. That is fixed point. You're right. But so it has to do a little bit more with if you look from it from astrological perspective, through astrology and through that sort of and through that lens. But if you take that metaphor and embody it into, and then bring that metaphor in your today's life, so your own life becomes the metaphor for that. Okay? So that's what happens. Okay? So the metaphor for your life, then you have then a living metaphor. And this is what happens when your memory then will surface, because you're going in a timeless space. Because when you are not attached to dates, okay, so that's all. A wake up from the dream on a collective level is what's going to happen on a collective level is a hundreds monkey effect, and those people that will be rolling. And I was talking, it's like when I talked about this period to 2021, from 2012 to 2021, 2022, it's this period of like rolling on snowball up the hill about halfway, and we're at about halfway, and then we move rolling that snowball, and that's a collective level consciousness healing. And what do is, as the more you heal yourself, the bigger your snowball is. And you imagine, this is the metaphor I'm talking about, how we're gonna move forward collectively this timeline. So what happens is you clean up your own reality. You extract all the demonic energy out of your physical life, out of it's non-existent in your reality. Demons don't have access to you. And you keep rolling the ball because you understand you got to roll it up. And the power that gives you to roll it up big is the more you dropping of that demonic frequency out of your reality, meaning you cleaning out your house, and it gives you more of a living power, and your field gets filled with the fresh breath of air, with new possibilities, with new reality, and all of that as you cleaning all that out. But it's hard. You feel like you're rolling, and the more you want to clean yourself, the deeper, the harder it gets. But once you roll, purging, exactly. That's a purging process. Exactly. That's exactly what I called it 2 years ago. Thank you. Purging, yeah, you purge your own reality of anything that you don't see suitable to go into the future. You purge it because you know you can't bring that luggage, like you were talking about, coniferous. I think that's you were talking about, or somebody else talk about the luggage thing. And yeah, you understand you can't have luggage because you're rolling this snowball up the hill. You can't have any attachments. You got to keep going. And once we get, and this is what I feel we just enter, we actually have possibility for those of you that got there to the top. Now this is your rebirth, as I said. And so now you can start rolling your big snowball down the hill. And because it's in collective, it's going to expand even more, but it's going to go falling down because now you're on top yourself. And the bigger cleanup you've gone through with your own energy, the bigger snowball that you become for the collective. And then think of it that as we need to, and then you roll that out, because by that time you know when you are, and you have your snowball on the top of that mountain, when you know where to throw that. What is it that you've gained? What is it in that snowball? What gifts, universal gifts, is that seed holds? What is it going to grow for human consciousness? So then it does take this leap, quantum leap, meaning beings, eternal beings. That's what being operating on quantum field is. It's eternal. There is no death and life in quantum field. It just is. All possibilities is there. So it's very healing, yes. And so you know your snowball. You push that thing. You know every inch of it. You know what it can do for collective human consciousness. And this is why I am doing what I'm doing with, developing things, developing documentary series, developing talk shows, developing things that I know that I hold in my snowball. And then I know exactly now how to roll it down in collective human consciousness. So now this other half sort of then goes into the way to where I know it's pure energy. Because how do I know it's pure? Because once you hold that big bowl, it turns into joy. And joy births passion. And it's recognizable to your soul. You will know it because it's your baby. It's every inch of it is you made it. You made it for what it is. And so then what it is you. It's you. It's authentic you. And then you just let yourself be. And when you follow the joy in your life, and the passion that that joy gives you, then you are that unconditional love, because joy is the essence of creator being. Joy is the essence. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Joy is the essence. And if you find joy, you'll find your passion, wild wisdom warriors. And then you will follow that passion and you'll throw that snowball. And the bigger it is, the happier you're going to be, because it's going to have a bigger effect on human consciousness. So rejoice, wild wisdom warriors. And let's just, let's express our passion for the collective human consciousness healing, because we are magical beings. And hopefully by now, you wild wisdom warriors, you know that you are magical beings. And so then let's do magic together. I love you guys so much. I have to go. Caesar, you want to say bye to everybody? Bye to everybody. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I love you guys. Stay wild.